This is Wade MacNeil, here today as a DJ, but you may also be familiar with my work in Alexisonfire. I'm sure you're definitely familiar with that, and not the fact that I'm DJing. But I'm DJing today anyways. You're watching Ramsey. Thank you!
Vicky here for Ramsey. I'm at Download Festival with Wade MacNeil of Alexisonfire. How are you today?
Thrilled to be here.
And you're doing a DJ set tonight.
That's right, I'm not here in a screamo or post-hardcore capacity. I'm here as a DJ.
Exactly. Have you got any specific bangers planned for tonight that you think everyone's really going to get moving to?
It's all bangers. It's just every band that I partied with on Warped Tour from 2004 to 2009.
Yeah.
Every song that they would end their sets with, that is every song that is in the set.
It's just going to be banger after banger then.
No duds.
It's going to be a huge party, I'm sure. Now, you're in a few bands. Obviously, Alexisonfire is your main band. Out of all the songs that you've contributed to, is there one that you're particularly proud of?
I'd say something really special happened on the last record, on Otherness. There's a song I wrote called Sans Soleil that I feel like I was incredibly blunt with my lyrics. I was like, in the past, maybe when I've just tried to talk about things that are super personal, I've kind of been maybe a little bit more guarded. Or made them a little bit more abstract, and I was like really direct in my songwriting and the lyrics, and I think that song has like really connected with our fans in a way that's pretty profound, and it's definitely like, it's the song that like people sing the loudest during our sets now, which is also just something really nice too, that, you know, we could put a record out at this point of our career and have it connect with people just as much.
What do you think it was that enabled you to let that guard down a little bit more?
I think it was just a time in my life where I was going through trying to make some massive personal changes. And I think I've always worked out a lot of conflict or personal feelings through my songwriting. And it kind of felt like at this point I really needed to do it like that, and so there's no point in hiding it.
Well, it's good as well because you're going through a healing process, but also for the listener, I just find those genuine moments in songs, it really helps people relate to them that little bit more, and it's like a chain reaction, and it allows other people to heal as well. Music is healing, I believe anyway. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%. It's a little tough though, like honestly, like sometimes when we play it, I like really struggle to play it, and sometimes when people talk to me about it, it's like very hard to not get really emotional, like being brought back there. But I mean, I guess that like speaks to the song in that it is like, it does mean that much to me, that it does like conjure up that kind of emotion, but it's, I don't know, sometimes it's tough.
I mean, I was thinking about that recently, like how can artists play these songs that they mean so much to them without getting emotional, because there's so many songs out there that make all of us emotional just listening to them, and then, you know, with the added pressure of, or not necessarily pressure, but the feeling of everything that's going on in the crowd, and you know, you can see people, I guess, relating, and that must just add to the emotion of singing it in the moment.
I mean, it can be certainly like, I think most of the time it's a very celebratory thing, and that you've like taken this hardship you've went through, turned it into something creative and artistic, and that's resonating with people, and that's a beautiful thing. Like that's very positive.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously you've played countless shows over the years, but is there one that stands out as a truly epic moment?
I mean, I think honestly, the first time Alexisonfire played Download was 2004, I believe, and it really felt like a pivotal point for us, like in this country, in terms of like before and after the set. Like the reaction we got during the set was so massive. It kind of felt like things changed after that. And when we came back, you know, the rooms we were playing in were way bigger. This really crazy thing happened where some goofball was crowd surfing in a like inflatable boat. Okay, and our singer George stage dove and had this really long mic cable, and he was like on top of the crowd, but the boat guy kind of came over to him, and then George climbed into the boat with him, and people were passing the boat around like George was screaming as his boat was going around, and it was like a real moment. It was insane.
Yeah.
That happened like that, and I think like so by the end of that set, like it was just like pure chaos in the tent, and that felt like a real like moment for Alexisonfire in this country.
I love that. That's such a genuine moment. You can't plan it. You can't make that stuff up. Yet it happened, and people remember you for that for the rest of their lives. That's a really cool story. And a question I like to ask, because I think it can sort of give an insight on a band's character sometimes, is if you could describe your band in 3 objects, which objects would you choose?
A thick wool blanket that you keep on your couch.
Yeah.
A very sturdy coffee cup that you bought at a farmer's market, like a larger one, you know, and vase of flowers.
Yeah. That sounds quite cozy.
They are all pretty cozy, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, like, even though Alexis is very loud, there's a lot of, it's always been about melody. I think we were just like, I think that's the one thing that is the most important to us is melody. And I think trying to be sincere and so I guess it's presented in a way that's like we all met each other, you know, playing in different punk bands and stuff, and that's kind of the music scene we came out of, but I think that's the stuff that's the most important to us.
Yeah.
And especially as I think we grow as songwriters, like the ultimate thing to be working on is just is making love songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that. And what have you got coming up for the rest of the year?
I come back to England and DJ a UK tour at the end of September. We've announced a few shows already. We're going to be adding a few more, so hopefully I can get pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
I go DJ in Australia, hopefully Japan, rip across the States, at which point it will be next year. And, actually, there's a couple of things too, like, I can't glaze over that one. Where Alexis is playing a show in Toronto with Blink-182 this summer, that's like the biggest conceivable show. It's like, so it's crazy that our bands are playing together. Like, we're a big band in Canada, but I mean, Blink-182 has become one of the largest bands in the world. And so we're playing at like a stadium in Toronto. We're playing like where Taylor Swift plays.
Oh my gosh.
So that's in August, which is pretty amazing that our two bands are like, you know, in the zone where Beyonce is also hanging out.
Yeah.
So it's like, that should be really cool. And then next summer or next year, work on some new Alexis tunes, get back on the road.
Yeah, cool. Well, we really look forward to hopefully catching you in the UK at some point, and some new music maybe next year.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much for speaking to me today.
Thanks.